first question.
Hi, good morning, Premier. It's Jessica from the Trillium.
Hi, Jessica.
I'm remembering back when you were a city councillor, you had some choice words about the Boardwalk Cafe deal, and I'm wondering if maybe there's some parallels with the Therme deal, or if there's any lessons learned.
No.
Maybe it's a good idea now, but what guarantee does the public have that this will still be a good idea, the Therme deal, 10, 20, 90 years down the line?
Well, first of all, thanks for the question, but that's apples and oranges. But here and there, you know, we're going to build a beautiful destination for the world to see, for Ontarians to come by and visit. We're going to work collaboratively with the City of Toronto, making sure that they're happy on the site at Ontario Place, but also make sure they're happy over at the Science Centre as well. There's a lot of opportunity over there. That's the beginning or the end, whatever way you want to look at it, of the Ontario line. And they you know, they own the land. It's going to be up to them, but we're committed to sitting down and working, again, collaboratively with them. And when we all work together, it just works out so much better, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
On the related issue, at the moment, Toronto City Council is showing some signs of wanting to fight the province over the city-owned land that's part of the Ontario Place plans. How far will you go if the city doesn't want to give up that part of land?
Well, the acting Mayor McKelvey is working closely with our infrastructure minister, and you know, sure, there may be some politics on one side of that council, but I'm not into fighting with anyone. This is going to be a benefit for everyone, and the people that are going to benefit the most, honestly, are the people of Toronto. They're going to have a brand new, state-of-the-art Ontario Science Centre. We're going to see an increase of 115,000 people going to the new Science Centre. It's going to be spectacular. And as for the old site, if the City of Toronto wants to work collaboratively, again, it's their property. If they need some community benefits, I hear they need a new school, we'll build a new school. If they need a new community center, we'll build a new community center there. If they need, you know, other community benefits, I'm there. But it's all about working together, not working against each other. And I know there may be a few down at City Hall, but I think the majority of people, including the acting mayor, is going to work collaboratively with us.
Hey, good morning, Premier Colin DeMello from Global News.
How you doing?
Well, thank you. Hope you're doing well as well.
Yeah.
So the Ontario Place contract with Therme.
Yes.
A lot of people are wondering, how do you justify giving a lease for public lands to a private company that will span a century?
Yeah, well, that's pretty typical when someone's investing hundreds of millions of dollars. And by the way, I want to make it very clear, there's no public money in this deal. I'm going to repeat that. No public money in this deal. They're coming here to build a state-of-the-art, one of the most beautiful facilities, as they have right across the world. And we're fortunate to have them pick Toronto as one of the sites. But right now, you know, you look at Ontario Place. Have you ever gone down the Gardiner and you see that rusty old bridge and the sign? It's absolutely terrible. And I know that drives Christine Hogarth crazy as well. And by the way, sorry to get off topic, but happy birthday, Christine. So good for you. But you know, we're gonna make it spectacular, and we're gonna work with the City of Toronto. But at the end of the day, we're going to get rid of the weeds and the rundown Ontario Place. Live Nation is going to build something spectacular there. So is Therme and Ontario Science Centre. I'm really excited about this. I really am.
Okay, so can you clarify something? You just said that there's no public money in this deal, yet
That's
the
right.
province has agreed to build this parking structure, which would be built, I believe, using taxpayer dollars. Can you give us a sense of
Well, that's sure, and I appreciate that, Colin. Good.
You know, how much
Sure.
is that parking structure expected to cost?
And as we go through all the details, I'll always be transparent. But that's going to be owned by ourselves. It's going to generate income. It's going to help out Live Nation and Therme. Nothing's worse. Have you ever went down to the concert, you know, down at Ontario Place, and you can't get parking and everything? We're going to put a parking lot, but we aren't throwing money into Therme or Live Nation. What we do in every single deal, we flatten the land, we get it ready to build, and then we're going to go forward. But I'll be transparent as everything goes through. But there's other proponents out there too, and I can't show them our cards. It's like the car deals. You know, you show your cards on one deal, and you have 100 people coming at you other ways. So at the end of the day, this is going to be spectacular, and I look forward to working with the City of Toronto. It's going to be exciting.
Morning, Premier. Liam Casey with the Canadian Press.
Hi, how you doing, Liam?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So you spoke a lot in the past about respecting taxpayers and how much money that is being spent, and you sort of said just now that you're going to tell us taxpayers. Can you give us a ballpark of what that will cost or when we will find out?
You know something? First of all, it's not going to cost the taxpayers any money outside, which is a parking lot, and clearing the land. So we aren't giving Therme money. We aren't giving Live Nation money eventually.
So, sorry, you just said there's another component that...
Well, future components to Ontario Place. Any proponents, I should say, that come up, again, we'll sit down with them. But right now, I think it's going to be out of this world. We have two options here. We leave Ontario Place, like the previous government did, to get run down and no one's utilizing it, or we do something out of this world. And what a tourist attraction, and the people of Ontario. I think people in our vintage all grew up at Ontario Place and had a fabulous time. We're going to make it 10 times better than it was before. We'll have the Science Center, we'll have a new marina, we'll have public beach and you know, the water area for the kids to play in, restaurants and bars and Live Nation. I could go on and on. So you have that, or you just leave it alone. We get things done in our government.
Good morning, Premier. Rob Ferguson from the Star. We hear you're considering preserving the existing Science Center building to use as a community hub. Is that true?
Well, what we want to do is sit down with the City of Toronto. Rob, they own the land. Maybe, you know, they might come back and say, we want a new community center. The thing is old and run down and you know, it's a mess. If the province is saying, we're going to help you out with a new community center, we're going to help you out with a new school, because they're in desperate need of a school, I hear, by all means, let's help them out. But it's all about working together. Again, Rob, I feel there's two options here. We work with the city and make something spectacular up at the existing Science Center and help out the community that's desperately in need of help up there, and we have something spectacular at Ontario Place, and we're gonna get it done, and it's gonna be out of this world.
So you're open to keeping that building there as is, or at least in part?
Yeah, well, that again is going to have a conversation with the City of Toronto. Either you keep, you know, because it's their land, either keep an old building all run down, or the province is coming in and saying, I'm going to build you something unbelievable, a new community center. I think the people of that community, and I've door knocked a lot of doors in that area, would say, give me the new community center, give me a real great school, and maybe some other areas that they need support in. We're going to be there for them. We're going to support them.
This will be the last question.
Hi, Premier Dustin Cook with the Globe and Mail.
Hey, Dustin.
I'm wondering, to follow up on the pushback from Toronto City Council, mayoral candidates, some of them have also spoken out against the Ontario Place plan. If Toronto City Council doesn't move forward with the land exchange, will your government expropriate?
Well, we're going to work with them. You know, this is the height of politics right now at the city. You have all the mayoral candidates running around saying this, saying that. At the end of the day, we're going to work with them. We're going to do something better than what's there right now in both locations. And I just look forward to working in cooperation with them. But this is the height of politics right now in the city of Toronto with the election going on.
You said you're committed to transparency, releasing the numbers. Will you commit to releasing the business case for moving the Science Center?
Yeah, we're always going to be open to it. You know, you can either have an old facility. Do you know what kills me about the Science Center? The board approves it. The employees are excited. They're in this old rundown building that the attendance is down 40%. I could look around this room and ask how many people have gone to the Science Center in the last, I don't know, year, 2 years. One? I don't see anyone. So that my point is, you know, like, okay, Colin did. Yeah, that's because you probably did a story on it. That's the only reason you went. But anyways, I promise you one thing, every single person, even the people that are saying, no, I don't want to do it, I will guarantee you, folks, guess who's going to be in line at the Science Center? Guess who's going to go to a Live Nation show? Guess who's going to bring their kids to Ontario Place? The same people, the naysayers, are going to show up there, sure as I'm standing here. They'll be first in line and having a great time, and there's nothing wrong with it. So this is going to be fantastic for the City of Toronto and the people of Ontario.